Te Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narotamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shlokir Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Bhakti Vedanta study of 10th canto. This most very important verse actually which we were discussing, verse number 26, there is the Mangala Charan. Actually, this is the middle Mangala Charan of Srimad Bhagvatam. And in this Satyavrtam, Trai Satyam, Satyatmakam, this is, all these has a very wonderful commentary by all the acharyas. I'm just going a little with Lagu Vaishnava Toshani. Your promises come true, Satyavrtam. You promise to appear, now you do so. Because you keep your promise, you are fond of upholding truth. Satyavrtam. Since you are fond of truth and uphold it, you are the best form of truth, Satya Param. You are Satya Param, Param Satya. You are the best.
Recording in progress.
Means that by uttering truth, one can attain you. This is Sridhar Swami's explanation. The earth uttered truth and attained you. Earth came that I have a trouble and she attained you. With Brahma, they prayed for. Since you are highest truth, Satyam Param, such a quality is suitable for you, to you. Therefore, it is not unsuitable that you appear in 3 yugas. This is Trai Satyam. So, one Trai Satyam is 3 yuga. One Trai Satyam is in a creation, maintenance, and annihilation. And what was the third Trai Satyam? Past, present, and future. In three times you are also Trai Satyam, including the first part of the Kali Yuga where you come as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Trai Satyam is explained by 3 descriptive phrases following Satya Yonim. After Trai Satyam, there are 3 descriptive phrases. What are they? Satya Yonim, which means you are the source of all incarnation. This is the one meaning. Nihatyam Satyai and Satyasya Satyam. It means past, present, and future. So, this is the nature of the Satyavrtam and Trai Satyam is further explained. Described with Ritta Satya Netram. Lord is the propagator or revealer, Netram, of pleasing words, Ritta, the eternal knowledge, Satya. He is steady in words and mind. Since he is truthful, words and knowledge incarnate. It is not surprising that he reveals this in the world. He is the supreme shelter of these 2 in the form of Veda. Only by your mercy can we know and praise you. This is the intention of their words. Thus they hint at more mercy. So these words of this verse, I think this verse is for memorization, right? Sridhar Swami explains as follows. Satyasya Yoni referred to the time previous to creation. The Lord existed in the past. Satyasya Satyam refers to his presence after destruction. Means after annihilation he still remains. So Satyasya Satyam. And Nihata Satyam refers to his presence when the universe is present. So these 3 words, according to Sridhar Swami, Satya Yonim means in past you were there. And Satya Satya means in the future you will be there, and Netam Satya means in present you are there. So this is the one other meaning of these three words. And are the Vrata Satya Vratam, the meaning of the Vrat could be, this verse is everybody quoted, Shakradeva Parpanna, this is Lord Ramchandra's promise. Thus you have appeared to give fearlessness to your devotees, the Yadavas, because you at all times do not tell lies, Satya Param. This is because you are Tri Satyam. You are the source of truth in the material world, in the past, present, and future. How can the Lord maintain his eternal nature when he entered Devaki's womb? His form is without material contamination at all. Satya Atmakam. The rest of the words are interpreted as above. So there is a description in Chaitanya Chaitamrita. This is a statement regarding the birth of Lord Krishna. The incarnation of Lord entered the mind of Vasudeva and was then transferred to the mind of Devaki. Srila Sridhar Swami gives the following annotation in this connection. Mana aveshaha manasya avirbhaboha jivanam iva na dhatu sambandh iti artha. There is no question of seminal discharge necessary for birth of an ordinary human being. Srila Rupa Goswami also comment in this connection that Lord Krishna first appeared in the mind of Ananka Dubduvi, means Vasudeva, and has been transferred to the mind of Devaki. Thus, the spiritual bliss in the mind of Devaki, Devi, gradually increases just as the moon increases every night, until it comes a full moon. And full moon has 16 kalas. So there is a purport. We are not reading this Sripad Vallabhacharya. He has given all these words and explained them as 16 different kalas of Krishna. So that purport there, those who are interested can read. Those who want to relish more, that is there. Lord Krishna came out of the mind of Devaki and appeared within the prison house of Kansa by the side of Devaki's bed. At that time, by the spell of Yogamaya, Devaki thought that her child has now been born. In this connection, even the demigod from celestial kingdom were also bewildered. So these prayers are called Garbha Astuti. So Garbha generally means, birth from the womb, which is always condemned. Nobody should go to the womb. Everybody should go back to Godhead. But when Lord comes in the womb of Devaki, then there are prayers offered by the demigods. So this is something paradox actually. So this chapter is called Garbha Astuti, and the verse 25 to 42 prayers by the demigods. So this is the big section. Almost it will be how many? 25, 35. So it must be 18 almost, I think. Is it 18? Right? Now this is something interesting verse. Eka ayano aso divi phalha triya moolasha chatuhurasaha pancha vidha shad atma saptatvaga ashtaha vitapo navaksho dashaha chaddi divi khagohi adi vriksha. So in this there is an allegory given to the one tree which have 2 fruits, 3 roots, 4. It has 4 results, a rasa, and pancha 5. Vidaha, shad atma, saptatvaka 7 layers, ashtavitapaha, nava aksho 9 holes, 10 chiddhi, and 10 prana. So this is interesting, you relish this. So here is the body. The total body of the universe or individual body? Yes?
Today you forgot to share a screen.
Oh, I have not shared a screen?
I don't see that.
Huh?
Wait, which thing?
I can see.
Okay, maybe I have something else going on. Okay, I'll take it. I'll rejoin. Thank you.
Okay, I'm again doing it. Okay, it's done now?
Okay, I see it now, Prabhuji.
Now, here the body, Prabhupada writes body, the total body means universal body, and the individual body. This is the technical two terms. One is called samasti and other is called vyasti. Samasti means the total universal body, and vyasti means one personal body. And this is also in a general terminology, khande so brahmande. So what is in one body, that is all in the whole universal body. Both have same thing, almost. That's what Prabhupada is. Total body, that is the individual, total body and the individual body. Means total body means the total body of this material world, which is Virat Roop, something like that. An individual body, which means the body of a person. And the composition is same. May figurative be is called the original tree. So body is called tree. From this tree, which fully depend on ground of material nature, comes two kinds of fruit. What are they? Enjoyment of happiness and suffering of distress. The cause of the tree forming its roots is the association with three modes of material nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. The fruits of the bodily happiness have four tastes: religiosity, economical development, sense gratification, and liberation. And there is a difference in this four by other acharya. Four varna, four ashrama, and four type of taste of the food. So this is a little bit different by the acharya. But here Prabhupada calls them dharma, artha, kama, moksha, which are experienced through five senses. This five senses, knowledge acquiring senses. In the midst of the six circumstances: lamentation, illusion, old age, death, hunger, and thirst. The seven layers of the bark covering the tree are skin, blood, muscle, fat, bone marrow, and semen. And the 8 branches of the tree are 5 grass and 3 subtle elements. This is a Bhagavad Gita 7th chapter, Ashtadha, Bhinna Ashtadha. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego. The tree of the body has 9 hollows: the eyes, ear, nostril, mouth, rectum, genitals. And the 10 leaves, the 10 air passing through the air, 5 major prana and 5 secondary prana. Devdatta, Dhananjaya, Krika, these are the name of these secondary prana. Prana, Pan, Saman, Vyan, Udan. In this tree of the body, there are 2 birds. One is individual soul and the other is super soul. So mostly Prabhupada's purport is about these 2 birds, soul and super soul. So Srila Prabhupada writes, the material world is composed of 5 principal elements, and all of which are emanation from Krishna. Although materialistic scientists may accept these 5 primary elements as the cause of manifestation, material manifestation, these elements in their gross and subtle state are produced by Krishna, whose marginal potency also produces, whose marginal potency means Krishna's marginal potency, also produce living entities working within this material world. 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita clearly states that an entire cosmic manifestation is a combination of 2 of Krishna's energies, superior and inferior energy. The living entities are the superior. This is what we know, normal. Material scientist, Prabhupada says, cannot give such a thorough analysis of the material structure of the body. The analysis of the material scientist concerns itself only with the inanimate matter. But this is inadequate because the living entity is completely separate from the material body, bodily structure. Bhagavad Gita, Lord says, apareyam itastohanyam prakritim vidhi me param jiva bhutam mahabhao yayam jayate jagat. So although the material elements emanate from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, they are separated elements, and they are sustained by the living elements. An individual by as indicated by the Dvi Khagga. Now this is the main purport. First purpose is whatever is material creation that is emanating from Krishna. Now the Dvi Khagga, the first purpose is defining what is Khagga, what is the meaning of Khagga. Kha means sky and Ga means fly. It means birds. Dvi means two birds. And the one bird is soul and other is super soul. And that is from Bhagavad Gita, Kshetra Gaya. So there are two knower of the field of activities. So that we know. Now Srila Prabhupada is writing, when the two birds enter a tree, one may foolishly think that the birds become one. It means it's not that soul and super soul are one. This is what Mayavadi says. So Prabhupada is just refuting that argument with the tree. But actually they do not. Rather, each bird keeps its individual identity. Similarly, the individual soul and the super soul do not become one, nor do they merge with matter. The living entity lives close to matter, but this does not mean that they merge or mix with it. Asango hi ayam purushaha. Although material scientists mistakenly see the organic and inorganic or animate and inanimate to be mixed, Vedic knowledge has been kept imprisoned or concealed, but every human being needs to understand it in truth. The modern civilization of ignorance is simply engaged in analyzing the body, and thus people come to the erroneous conclusion that the living force within the body is generated under certain material conditions. People have no information of the soul, but this verse gives the perfect explanation that there are two living forces, Dvikagga, the individual soul and super soul. Super soul is present in every body, Ishvara Sarvabhauma, whereas the individual soul is situated only in his own body and transmigrating from one body to other. And Chakravarti Pad writes, everything same. Lord then asks a question from the demigods. If I, who am endowed with body, senses and dham, am satya, then is the material world asatya or false? So, if the Krishna asks this question from demigods, then their answer is, the world is true, but subject to destruction and time. Whereas you are not destroyed by time. You are indestructible. With this intention, the demigod recite this verse. So everything is satya pertaining to the Lord. So the material world is also satya, but it is temporary. So it is not absolute truth, it is a relative truth. Demigod worship is a relative truth. Material world is a relative truth. But the absolute truth is Satyam Param, Trai Satyam, Satyatmakam. This whole thing is Param Satya actually. Ek Ayanaha means the Prakriti. The material nature is one, shelter of the tree of the material world. Two fruits we have seen, happiness and distress, misery. Three roots are same. Now Chakravarti Pad is saying, the four rasas, namely four varna and ashram. And Srila Prabhupada has four rasas are dharma, artha, kam and moksha. And Chakravarti Pad says varna and four ashram. This is only this difference, rest all is same. And Laghu, Vaishno, Toshuni, general description simply indicate proprietor of the body, two birds. They are described in more detail later Yayo eka khadati. Of the two birds, one is enjoying the fruits. Piplanam. The other is simply witness. The Jeev and Paramatma are not limbs of the tree. They are beyond the material realm. Since they exist from the first like a stream with continuity. The tree is described as Adi Vriksha, and Vrika means cut down, that you can cut it down. Because time at all times attack it. Its fruits are happiness, this is same thing. Now 4 tastes. It has 4 tastes, just it says 4 tastes. What are those tastes? Is not explained. With 4 tastes. It has 8 branches, that is same thing. Second, in the Ashtavitapa should be lengthened. Okay. The verse is explained according to Sridhar Swami. Sentence continued for 2 verses. The 5 senses of the tree are 5 knowledge senses. Plant have sense according to the statement. Pashyanti, Pad, Paha. Tree sees, so tree have also senses. Mahabharata. The kosha, the skin, flesh, blood, this is same thing. According to other, the hair, body, fluid, somebody say 7 layers may be different. Say body, hair, blood, flesh, tendon, bone, marrow. 7 dhatus are previous 6 plus 7. Saptattvaka can refer to the 7 covering of skin. Of the skin are covering starting with the skin. Anyway, this is the little bit difference. Now verse number 28. Tvama eka eva asya satah prasutis tvam sanidhanam tvam anugrahascha tvam mayayaha samvirta chetasastvam pashyanti nana napa vipaschito ye eka eva asya satah prasutis. So the efficient cause of this material world manifested with its many varieties as the original tree is you, the Lord. You are also the maintainer of this material world, and after annihilation you are one in whom everything is conserved. Those who are covered by your material energy cannot see you behind this manifestation, but there is not the vision. Theirs is not the vision of a learned devotee. Means devotee can see you. Tvam ek ev asya satah prasuti. You are only the efficient truth with many varieties. Tvam anugraha, it means you maintain it. Tvam sanidham means after annihilation it enters into you. Tvam maya samvirta chesa, those who are covered by your maya, conscience is covered by your maya, cannot see you behind all this. Tvam nana na pashyanti. Tvam nana na pashyanti. But those who are devotees, they can see. Ye na vipaschita means learned devotees, they can see you. Various demigods, beginning from Lord Brahma and Shiva and even Vishnu, are supposed to be the creator, maintainer, and annihilator of this material world. But actually they are not. The fact is that everything is Supreme Personality of Godhead manifested in a variety of energy. Ekam eva dvetyayam brahma. There is no second existence. Those who are truly vipaschita means learned, are those who have reached the platform of understanding and observing the Supreme Personality of Godhead in any condition of life. Premanjan Charita Bhakti Vilochanena. Learned devotee accept even condition of distress as representing the presence of the Supreme Lord. Now, Prabhupada is simply quoting Tatte anukampam sumekshamanaha bonjante, this verse. The devotee therefore regard distress as a great favor of the Lord, because he understands that he is being cleansed of contamination. Tesham aham samudhrta mrityu sansar sagarat. The appearance of the distress is a negative process intended to give the devotee relief from this material world, which is called mrityu sansar, or the constant repetition of birth and death. To save a surrendered soul from repeated birth and death, the Lord purifies him of contamination by offering him a little distress. This cannot be understood by non-devotees. But a devotee can see this because he is vipaschita or learned. A non-devotee therefore is perturbed to distress, but the devotee welcomes distress as another feature of the Lord. Sarvam khalva idam brahma. A devotee can actually see that there is only Supreme Person of Godhead, no second entity. Ekam eva advityam. There's only one Lord who presents himself in different energies. Persons who are not in real knowledge think that Brahma is the creator, Vishnu is maintainer, and Shiva is annihilator. That is also right. But that the different demigods are intended to fulfill diverse purposes. Thus they create diverse purposes and worship various demigods to have these purposes fulfilled. Kameste harta gyana prapadyante anya devata. A devotee, however, knows that these various demigods are but different parts of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that these parts need not be worshipped. As the Lord says, Bhagavad Gita, ye anya devata bhajata bhakta jajante avidhi purvakam. So this is avidhi purvak. There's no need to worship the demigod, for because it is avidhi, not in order. Simply by surrendering oneself at the lotus feet of Krishna, one can completely discharge one's duties. There's no need to worship various deities or demigods. These various divinities are observed by the mood fools who are bewildered by the three modes of material nature, Traibhira, Gunamaira, Bhavair, Ebhi, Sarvam, Idam, Jagat. Such fools cannot understand that the real source of everything is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Mohitam nabhi janati mam ebhya param avyayam. Not being disturbed by the Lord's various features, one should concentrate upon the worship of the Supreme Lord, Mam Ekam Sharanam Braja. This should be the guiding principle. So some example where people really don't understand who is the Lord. Yes? Yes, Prabhus?
Could you elaborate your question?
There are some description in Bhagvatam where who is actually the Lord is not very clear to most of the people, even they are great learned scholars. Rishis. There is a verse from Bhagavad Gita, so the demigods don't know me because I am the source of their origin. I am referring to 4th canto of Bhagavatam, 1st chapter. Who is in 4th canto, 1st chapter? Whose description is there? Atri. Calling Jagdish and 3 came, he was not clear. Who is supreme? Right?
Yeah,
you recall now?
Yes, so all 3 of them came together.
Who is, they don't know who is the Supreme. He don't know who is the Supreme. He was asking who of you, I know there's one Lord. Why you came 3? Who is the one? And then in 10th canto again, in the end we will see who should be worshipped out of the 3. And Bhrigu is going to test who is the topmost. Right? The Brahma was offended simply not by bowing down, and Shankar by the words, but Vishnu, even when kicked, was still humble. Some other examples?
Prabhuji, can we say Gajendra? He did not know who is.
Gajendra was calling Supreme Lord actually, so he came last like some prayers.
Right. Atri Muni, he didn't know exactly who the Lord is, so the 3 personalities came to him.
Who?
Atri Muni.
Oh yeah, Atri I am saying. He was not very clear who is the Supreme Lord. This is the first chapter of the fourth canto.
Later on we'll hear.
So what actually is?
Doesn't understand Krishna, Krishna's position, also Lord Brahma, and then we also hear of the Yogic Brahmanas also do not understand the position of Krishna.
Yes, most of the people don't understand the position of Krishna. That's what I said. They are called vimudha. They are not vipaschita. They cannot see beyond all these. There is the source of all them is Krishna. That is not easy for everybody to understand. So there are people impersonal and personal, but even personal people have a different ideas about the God. So this tree arises from your energy. These demigods are saying, with this intention the verse is spoken. You are the only creator of this material tree which is real, Sat. You are the annihilator and you are the maintainer. Krishna replied, O Devatas, it is said that Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva are the master of the world. So why do you say that I am the creator? The next statement of the demigod answers this question. Those whose minds are covered by your Maya see Brahma and others as independent. Those whose minds are not covered see only you and see Brahma and others as your expansions only. They are not independent. This is the mood. Other meaning of the word tvam, you are here rejected. The meaning may be taken according to Sridhar Swami, or another meaning as follows. How can I be the creator, maintainer and destroyer all at once? This one's verse ends first. Wise with mind uncovered by Maya do not see varieties, and they see the non-difference of all the Lord's forms, since the one form of Lord by his innate inconceivable Shakti takes on various forms according to the type of worship and way of seeing. When we are discussing this right now, you remember the last verse almost of the Bhisham Pitama's prayer. Till this time I was thinking the super soul in the heart is different and you are different, but now today is very clear to me that you are everything. Do you remember this verse?
The bhed is gone.
Yeah. This is the verse which also, that only the wise can know that you are only that. The other will say there is a bhed or differentiation. So now there is a verse quoted here from Nard Pancharatra. Just as the gem show blue and yellow and other colors at different times, the Lord takes different form because of the different type of meditation. Nard Pancharatra. The gem referred is Vaidurya, which possesses various colors. Or a person covered by your Maya see you in various forms as described. You attain such variety by Maya. People then think you are these various forms, but the wise do not think like this, because the Lord's innate Shakti, all the Lord's form are various without Maya, full of knowledge and bliss. Brahma Santa writes, Garga Santa writes, with his Ansa avatar, Ansha avatar, Kala avatar, Avesh avatar, Purana avatar, and many other incarnations, he creates, maintains, and destroys the material universes. To him, Lord Krishna, the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is greater than the Purana avatar, we offer our respectful obeisances. So there are different type of incarnation. They all are coming ultimately from Krishna. So, prayer 29. बिभ्रषि रूपाणि अवबोध आत्मा क्षेमाय लोकस्य चराचरस्य सत्वः उपननानि सुखावहानि सताम अभद्राणि मोहखलानाम. The last line is like paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya dushkritam. O Lord, you are always in full knowledge of Bodha Atma. Bodh means knowledge. And to bring all good fortune to all living entities. This is your purpose. Kshemaya lokas characharasya. You appear in different incarnation. Bibrashya rupani. All of them transcendental to the material creation. Sattva upapanani. Sattva upapanani. When you appear in these incarnations, you are pleasing to the pious and religious devotees, satam, sukha, vahani. But to the non-devotees, you are annihilator, khalanam, muh, abhadrani. So this is like paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya duskritam. So Prabhupada has written these two lines. This verse explains why Supreme Personality of Godhead appears as an incarnation again and again. Because paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya duskritam. This is the function of the Lord. But even he killed them, he delivered them. In this verse, demigod explains the Lord Krishna has many avatars such as Matsya and Kurma. Avbodh, awake, means Krishna has the form of pure knowledge. Sattva upananani, all the incarnation of Krishna are transcendental, pure sattva. Khalanam, they destroy the wicked, protector of the devotees, satam. Jiva Goswami writes, you manifest forms which are authorized by scripture, endowed with sattva, pure eternity, knowledge and bliss, sattva upapanani. Appearing as a son through Devaki, your Shakti does not contradict that nature. Not only do you appear in order to protect, but in order to absorb your devotees in your experience of bliss. By this, they do not know material existence. Others are not like this. And Laghu Vaishno Toshni writes, you, the basic form, Abodha Atma, the son of Devaki, manifests many forms such as Purusha, authorized by the Vedas, through Shuddha Sattva, Sattvena, endowed with Sachidanand, and you also manifest the material universe. This means that because you appear through your own Shakti in the form of Devaki, even though you are her son, you are not impeded by matter. You do this for the benefit of people by protecting the pious and punishing the demon. You stop the demon from performing sinful actions. The pious are those who follow Dharma, and wicked are those who do not follow. Or, though you are the son of Devaki, the purpose of forms mentioned in the previous verse is explained in this verse. If all these other forms carry out perfect action, what can be said of your form as Swayam Bhagavan? And Garga Samhita says, in Manvantar and Yuga and Kalpa, past and future, you manifest your own form in partial incarnation. So Manvantar incarnation, Yuga incarnation, Kalpa incarnation. But now you manifest your original and most perfect form, establishing the real religion. You bring auspiciousness to the earth. Same mood. 31. Tvai ambojaksha akhil sattva dhamini samadhina veshit chetasaike tvatapada potena mahat kritena Koravanti govatsa padam bhavabadhim. So pada potena, pada means lotus feet, potena means boat. And this is most important, and it continues to the next verse 31 also. This will continue further about the lotus feet of Lord is a boat to cross the material ocean. So we have not to ride on this boat, we simply think of this boat. Then the material ocean, we have not to cross, simply ocean become small hoof print with the water, which is auspicious also. And there's no trouble at all. That's the meaning. But this only when you appear, then we can see this. Otherwise, how can we appreciate this? O lotus-eyed Lord, Ambujaksha. Ambuja means lotus. Ambu means water. Ja means born. One who is born in water is lotus. And Aksha means eyes. Why everything of the Lord is compared to the lotus, not to the other flowers?
Because lotus was not created by Brahma.
So all other flowers are created by Brahma, and lotus was before Brahma. Brahma was born on the lotus. Therefore lotus is a creation of Vishnu. So something to compare to the Lord should be transcendental. So in that sense, lotus is a transcendental. Is okay?
Another thing you can say is lotus is born in muddy water, but it's untouched by mud.
So anything of the Supreme Lord, though in the material world, is not touched by the water, yes? By the matter.
That's why it's modes of material nature.
That is also good. Anything else?
By far, lotus is the most beautiful flower. So, the most beautiful, we want to address it to the Lord.
That's also good. And he said, Lord's lotus face, if you look at, you will be attracted to that, and all your miseries, pain, and fatigue will go away. It is also written like that. Good, Ambujaksha. Another thing is, when lotus is open, it's very beautiful. So when Lord's eyes are open, then he sees the good work of devotees, then he is very pleased. So, Ambujaksha. Okay. By concentrating one's meditation on your lotus feet, ek samadhina avishta chetasaha, which are the reservoir of all existence, akhil sattva dhamini, means your lotus feet is akhil sattva dhamini. And by accepting the lotus feet as the boat by which to cross the ocean of nescience, tota pada potina, one follows in the footsteps of Mahajana, great saints, sages and devotees, Mahata Kartena. By this simple process, one can cross the ocean of nescience as easily as one step over the footprint of calf. Korovanti go vatsa padam bhava abdim. Bhava abdim means material world, ocean of the nescience. Now, Srila Prabhupada writes, the true mission in life is to cross the ocean of nescience of repeated birth and death. This should be the mission of life of a human being. So mission of a life of a human being is to cross the material ocean. Those in the darkness of ignorance, however, do not know this mission. Instead, being carried away by the waves of material nature, prakriti kriyamanayani, they are undergoing the tribulation, mrityu samsara vartamani. But persons who have achieved knowledge by the association of devotee follow the Mahajan Mahata Kartena. Such person always concentrate his mind upon the lotus feet of Lord and execute one or more of the 9 varieties of devotional service, Saranam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Sumaranam, Pada Sevanam. Simply by this process, one can cross the insurmountable ocean of nescience. So, boat and Mahat Kritena, the meaning in the end, we will come to the conclusion that this is sadhan bhakti. And what is the one principle of sadhana bhakti? What is the one single principle of sadhana bhakti? Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu.
Satatam smartavya Vishnu vismartavya na jatute.
That is the higher principle. All principles are the servant of this. This is also there, but it's after that for some other reason. But the one thing in sadhana bhakti, there is one principle.
Abhyabhilashita shunyam.
No, that is the definition. Yena kena prakarena mana Krishna.
Niveshaya.
There is a mana Krishna padaravinda nivesha. Somehow or other we just meditate our mind on lotus feet of Krishna. So this again nowadays in classes somehow at couple places I am really too much in a mood that every devotee should try to meditate on the lotus feet of Supreme Lord, the deity in their own temple or their own home where they are worshipping. And this meditation on lotus feet should be our daily practice. Because this is the greatest prayer one can have in devotional service in life. When he closes eyes and seek the lotus feet of Lord within his heart. And the Radharani is the topmost devotee who always keeps the lotus feet of Krishna within the heart. And you have heard this story from Garga Santa of the heart milk pastime. I think everybody must have heard this story of heart milk pastime. Sri Radharani was given hot milk by Rukmani and Krishna's lotus feet were blistered. And she asked, what happened to you in night? You never went in. He said, you gave the hot milk to Radharani and my lotus feet is in the heart of Radharani. It got burned. So this is the story from Garga Santa of the place where Kapil Dev took birth, that is called Bindu Sarovar, which is in Gujarat right now. So lotus feet of Lord is in the heart of Radharani. So the devotees are praying to Radharani that how can we approach and to become a speck of dust at the lotus feet of Krishna. Yugayatam nimeshana chakshush. This is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. Ainadna tanajukin kram patitam ma bhavishwa tavapad. I should be the dust of lotus feet, speck of dust at your lotus feet. This should be the mood of a devotee. Are some devotees really doing or trying this? To meditate on the lotus feet of Lord every day? Take few moments in a day and just close eyes and you can see the right foot is crossed over the left foot and the sole, you can see the red sole of the right lotus feet. And it's very soothing actually. It's a boat which is for, even we live in this world, then it is all auspicious because it's the whole material world like a water in the hoofs of the calf, which is auspicious. So devotees is liberated actually, because he's in a safe place because in his heart is lotus feet of Krishna. So this is most important. These two verses are describing the lotus feet of Lord as a boat. So when the Lord has a foot means he has a form. And that only we can know when he appears in this world. Otherwise, how can we know? That is the mood of the whole, these prayers. Lord, you appear, therefore we know you. We know about your glories. So now, Srila Prabhupada is saying, devotional service is powerful in any form. Any form means any of the 9 forms. The Sri Vishnu Sarvane Parikshat Abhavataha Vayasikihi Kirtanaya. These are the 2 examples of each limb perfection achieved by the person. By hearing Parikshat Maharaj, by speaking Sukdev Goswami, and the others are also example in a list from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Okay? Now we are going further. Now the topic is changing. One may also be liberated simply by sakhya, friendly. This is the same thing, one of these. Now, topic is going to the mahat kritena. Mahat kritena. So you see, pada potena means both are the 9 processes of devotional service. And this is all sadhan bhakti. Now, mahat kritena, second part, following in the footsteps of the Mahajan, and these are the name of the Mahajan Prabhupada gave. Swayambhu means Brahma, Narada, and Sambhu, they are there. They are right there. They are praying. Kumaraha Kapiloho, Manuha Prahlado, Janako, Bhishmaho, Bali, Vaya, Saki, Vayam. Vayam is Yamraj himself. So we have to follow in the footsteps of such devotees. For by this one easy process one can cross the ocean, great ocean of nescience, just by one cross the. This is one. Now Prabhupada is speaking. Lord is describe Ambuj Aksha, lotus eyed. By seeing the eyes of the Lord, which are compared to the lotus flower, one becomes so satisfied. One becomes so satisfied that one does not want to turn his eyes to anything else. Simply by seeing the transcendental form of Lord, a devotee is at once fully absorbed in the Lord in his heart. Simply by seeing the transcendental form of the Lord, a devotee is at once fully absorbed in the Lord in his heart. This absorption is called samadhi. Dhyana avastadena tadganepate dhyana avastit tadgatena mansa pashyanti yam yogina. A yogi is fully absorbed in the thought of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for he has no other business than to think of the Lord always within the heart. It is also said, Samashirtaye pada palvaha palvam mahat padam punya yasho murareya bhavam badhi vatsa padam param padam 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 yada padam chanatesham. So for one who has accepted the abode of lotus feet of the Lord, who is the shelter of the cosmic manifestation and famous as a Murari, the enemy of the Mura, the ocean of the material world is like the water contained in the calf's hoofprint. His goal is Parampadam or Vaikuntha, the place where there are no material miseries, not the place where there is a danger at every step. 10:14:54, this is Brahma's prayer. This process is recommended here by authorities like Brahma and Lord Shiva, Swayambhu, Narada, Sambhu. And therefore, we must take to this process in order to transcend nescience. This is very easy, but we must follow in the footsteps of great personalities, and then success will be possible. In regard to the word Mahat Kritena, it is also significant that the process shown by the great devotees is not only for them but also for others. If things are made easy, this affords facility for the persons who has made them easy, and also for others who follow the same principle. This is said when they cross the other side of the ocean, they don't take the boat with them, they leave the boat behind, that the other can also take advantage. And what it means they leave the process of bhakti behind for the people to practice. The process recommended in these verses for crossing the ocean of nescience is easy, not only for devotees but also for common persons who follow the devotee. Mahajano yena gatassa pantha. Now Chakravarti Pad writes, the previous verse spoke of protection of the Lord. This verse describes the form of protection, how Lord protect. Akhil Sattva means Shuddha Sattva, without material qualities. Dhamini, cause of all existence. The man of discrimination who meditate on your name, form, qualities, and pastime. When you appear in this world, board the board of your lotus feet and cross over the material ocean. For such great devotee, crossing ocean of material existence become as easy as stepping over the hoof print of the calf. They are not even aware of its existence. So simply you appear, then it is possible. So we are happy that you are appearing. It's for the protection of the whole universe. And Jiva Goswami writes, O lotus-eyed Lord, this indicates his beauty. You are the abode of Sattva, beyond matter. Another version says Amal Sattva instead of Akhil Sattva. Directly indicate that the phrase means Shuddha Sattva. Those who absorb their mind in you, giving the highest joy to cross the material ocean, make the material ocean into calves' hoofprints, by the boat of your lotus feet, which are greatly respected, Mahat Kartena. By the bliss, their minds are not aware of the material world. Okay. Garga Santa says, O blissful Lord, we place in our heart the nectar pollen gently blowing from your lotus feet. As you walk, rare pollen not attained by even purest yogis, but only by those whose pure heart melt with love for you. In our hearts we place the wonderful, you, whose handsome form is more charming than 100 million Kamdeva, who are the glory of realm of Gokul, who are the master of Radha and the wealth of the earth. Verse 31. Swayam samuthirya sudustaram dyoman bhavaranam bhimam adhbhut sohirdaha bhavat padambaro navam atrate nidhaya yata sadanugroho bhavan. The Lord who resembles the shining sun, Dyuman. You are always ready to fulfill the desire of your devotees, and therefore you are known as a desire tree, Vancha Kalpatru, Sad Anugroho Bhavan. You are always fulfilling the desire of the devotees. When Acharya completely takes shelter under your lotus feet, Bhavata Padam Varu Navam Atrate. In order to cross the fiery ocean of the nations, Swayam Samutari Sudustaram Bhimam Bhavaranam. Bhavaranam means ocean of material world. They leave behind on earth the method, that is the bhakti, by which they cross Nidhaya Yataha. And because you are very merciful to your other devotees, you accept this method to help them, Sad Anugraha Bhavan. Again, this statement reveals how the merciful Acharya, the merciful Supreme Personality of Godhead, together help the serious devotee who wants to return home back to Godhead. So Acharya and Krishna both. So which verse is very easy for Prabhupada to quote? ब्रह्मांड भ्रमिते कोई भाग्यवान जीव गुरु प्रसाद कृष्ण प्रसाद पाए भक्ति लता बीज. When can achieve the seed of bhakti lata? What is the seed of bhakti lata? What is the seed of bhakti lata given by the spiritual master? Anybody?
Rules and regulations.
Rules and regulation of?
Devotion.
It means sadhana bhakti. So, the seed of the devotional service is sadhana bhakti. the rules and regulation given by the spiritual master. Then we have to practice this to get perfected. Oh, good. So, the duty of the Guru is to find the means according to time, circumstances and candidate. Desh Kala Patra, by which one can be induced to render devotional service which Krishna accepts from a candidate who wants to be successful in going back home, back to Godhead. Which Krishna accepts from the candidate. After wandering throughout the universe, a fortunate person within this material world seeks shelter of such a guru or acharya who train the devotee in the suitable way to render service according to the circumstances, so that the Supreme Person of Godhead will accept service. So most important is God accept the service. And service to the Lord is done by what? How can we render service to the Lord? Yes?
By offering.
Offering what? Offering with what? Very simple question from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu.
Rishikela, Rishikesha said.
That is also good, but this is the definition of devotional service. How we practice devotional service with what? Body, mind and words. Body, mind and words. Devotional service is practiced by body, mind and words. And there is a positive and negative. Some things have to be done and some things are not to be done. And how can one engage the body in service of the Lord? What is in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu written there? Just to revive our remembrance of the Bhakti Shastri. And what is the mental? How the mind is engaged in this devotional service of the Lord. And how mind is by?
Bowing down, obeisances.
Process administered by Ambarish Maharaj.
But Prabhupada wrote, what Prabhupada has written in the Nectar of Devotion, exact words, and somebody remember? For body, he writes, only after initiation a devotee is engaged in rendering service to the Supreme Lord. This is Prabhupada's purport. Only after initiation, devotee can render service to the Lord, which Lord accepts. And for mental, Prabhupada writes, mental culture of devotional service is to always think of Krishna's pastime in Kurukshetra and Vrindavan. What are the pastime in Kurukshetra? Bhagavad Gita. What are the pastime in Vrindavan? Bhagvatam. So mind should be absorbed in Gita and Bhagavatam. And for the words, chanting holy name and also speaking Harikatha. So this is the way the Acharya engage the devotee's body, mind and words in the service of Sri Krishna. Is it okay? So the duty, the Acharya's duty therefore is to find the means by which the devotee may render service according to the reference from the shastra. According from the reference from shastra. Rupa Goswami, for example, in order to help subsequent devotees, published such devotional book as Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Thus is the duty of Acharya to publish books. Now this is the mission of ISKCON movement. That will help future candidates take up the method of service and become eligible to return home back to Godhead by the mercy of Lord. In our Krishna conscious movement, see, the same path is being prescribed and followed. Thus the devotees have been advised to refrain from 4 sinful activities. They are bona fide instruction. These are bona fide instruction. Because in the Western countries, constant chanting is not possible like Haridas Thakur. So the Acharya gives the suitable method for crossing the ocean of nescience by accepting both of Lord's lotus feet. So shastra is important. Acharya's instructions are important. And if this method is strictly followed, the follower will ultimately reach the destination by the grace of Lord. This method is called Acharya Sampradaya. It is therefore called Sampradaya Venahe Mantrate Nishpala Mataha Padma Puran. It means the mantra which is not coming in the parampara or sampradaya is useless. It has no effect. Acharya Sampradaya is strictly bona fide. Therefore, one must accept the Acharya Sampradaya. Otherwise, one's endeavor will be futile. Shri Narottam Das Thakur therefore saying, Tadera charana sevi bhakta sane vas janame hai ei abhilas. One must worship the lotus feet of Acharya and live within the society of the devotees. Then one's endeavor to cross over the nescience will be surely successful. Chakravarti Pad writes, sorry? Some question?
Could you please explain the last line from living with devotees?
Nowadays
in ISKCON, most of us are congregational devotees.
This is Janme Bhakta Sanevas. The Prabhupada says Bhakta Sanevas means always living in association with the devotees, in the society of devotees. So Krishna consciousness is society. We are living in the society of devotees. It doesn't say that living in the temple of the devotee. It says living in the society. So we are a society. Prabhupada has not made mutt. Mutt is Gaudiya mutt where there are only sannyasis and brahmachari. But we are society in which all the congregation is included. So how can we live in the association of devotee? By this our Bhakti Vedanta course is devotee of association, because hearing Krishna Katha in association of devotee is living in the society of devotee. So therefore the best thing is regularly there should be a core group of some devotees. They should always, maybe personally, if they are at one place, meet together, or nowadays on Zoom they can have their regular Hari Katha. That is the best association possible in present circumstances according to the time and Deshkal Patra. Chakravarti Pad writes, Swayam personally indicate that the material ocean is difficult to cross for others, but no trouble at all for the devotees. Dyuman, the Lord is addressed as Dyuman, the sun. This infers that those within whom the sun of Krishna does not remain in a terrible material ocean of insurmountable darkness. When you shine on the sunrise mountain of Prema Bhakti, all darkness automatically disappears. Then easily one can cross the ocean of material essence. Now this is Dyuman means sun, so Chakravarti Pad taking the mood of Chaitanya Chaitanya, Krishna has Surya Saman. Krishna is like a sun, and Maya is like a nescience. Where there is a Krishna, there is no nescience. Where there is sun, there is no darkness. So those who have no sun, they are in darkness. But the devotee on the mountain of Prema Bhakti, the sun rises, Krishna's sun rises, then this becomes brilliant. Navam atrate nidhaya. Leaving the boat on the bank means the devotee established bhakti movement. Like Prabhupada established ISKCON movement. That is Nav atra nidhaya. They left the boat behind and then crossed the ocean of material existence. By this act, others are able to cross over the ocean of repeated birth and death. Though the material infants get completely destroyed, the devotee remain here. This is only an expression of humility in the devotee. For then the material world is compared to the water in the calf's hoof print, because the water in the calf's hoof print is actually purifying and praiseworthy. In same way, the devotee's impression that he is caught in the sansar purify the devotee of disease of the false identification and therefore praiseworthy. Sadanugraha bhavam. How are the devotee able to cross the ocean of birth and death? Because you, Krishna, Sri Krishna Bhavan, are merciful Anugraha to the devotee Sat and not to the others. Shrijiva Goswami writes, your word, using word feet, previously indicated that the devotee performs sadhan bhakti. So this feet is sadhan bhakti. They use the board of your feet. This means they follow the path of bhakti according to the Sridhar Swami. They easily cross the ocean, giving up material enjoyment and liberation, which means karam and gyaan. Karam leads to enjoyment and gyaan leads to liberation. So they go beyond that. Because the ocean has become small, there is no need for the boat for crossing. Thus the person crosses in the easiest manner. Samfal samyak. This is because you have caused revelation, Dyuman. Revelation means light. You, Dyuman. The mention of feet in this and the previous verse indicates sadhana bhakti. Those who cross leave the method. Sridhar Swami has the Lord say, why would I let them cross just by taking shelter of my boat? This indicates that they do not need gyaan. The reason is given, you are the form of mercy for your devotee Sadanugra. Verse 32. Ye anya arvindaksha vimukta maninas Tvai asata bhavad avishuddha buddhya arohya kracherna param padam yatataha patanti adho anadrita yushmita angriya. This is the verse Prabhupada has quoted, I think, oftentimes to describe the Mayavadis who fall down from the stage of liberation. There's the verse commonly quoted by Srila Prabhupada. So someone may say that aside from devotees who always seek shelter at the lotus feet of Lord, means practice sadhana bhakti, there are those who are not devotees but who have accepted different process like gyaan for attaining salvation. What will happen to them? In answer to this question, Lord Brahma and other demigods said, O lotus-eyed Lord Arvindaksha, Ambujaksh Arvindaksh. Although non-devotees, ye anya, who accept severe austerities and penances to achieve the highest position, aroya krcherna param padam, may think themselves liberated, vimukta maninaha. Their intelligence is impure, avishuddha buddhaya. They fall down from their position of imagined superiority. Tataha asat bhavad patanti adha. Because they have no regard for your lotus feet. Anadrita yushmita angriya. Aside from devotee, there are many other non-devotees known as karmis, jnanis and yogis. And then Prabhupada writes philanthropists, altruists, politicians, impersonalists and voyeudists. So philanthropist means charitable. Politicians, impersonalists, who is altruist? Who is altruist?
Who's trying to bring all good to all people.
Trying to be?
Trying to bring welfare and everything good for all people, for lost people.
Still, I'm not understanding. Somebody can tell me exactly, but I don't know. What is the meaning of altruist?
Altruists are typically those who, sorry.
The dictionary meaning is altruists are individuals who act with selfless concern for the well-being of others.
So means the social worker.
Social worker, yeah.
So religious, social workers, politicians, social worker, okay. There are penance, there are austerity, but they must have different meaning, or they are double word. So just I wanted to little more make clear in my mind what it means. There are many varieties of non-devotees who have their respective ways of liberation. But simply because they do not know the shelter of Lord's lotus feet, although they falsely think that they have been liberated and elevated to higher position, they fall down. As clearly stated by the Lord himself in Bhagavad Gita, Ashardadhanaha purushaha dharmasya asya parantapaha aprapya mam nivartante mrityu sansar vartamani. 9.3. Those who are not faithful on the path of devotional service cannot attain me, O conqueror of the foes, but return to the birth and death in this material world. So who is not eligible for actually liberation according to this 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita? One is written here, one reason is given here, unfaithful. There's one more powerful than this, who is not eligible for getting this bhakti. First verse or 9th chapter.
Oh. Who is envious, Anasuya?
Yeah. Anusuyave. So envious and non-faithful can never ever. So they are envious actually of the lotus feet of Lord. They disrespect the lotus feet of Lords. So they are not eligible for that. It does not matter whether one is a karmi, gyani or yogi, philanthropist, politician or whatever. If one has no love for the lotus feet of Lord, one falls down. That is the verdict given by Lord Brahma in this verse. There are persons who advocate accepting any process and who said that whatever process one accepts will lead to the same goal. But that is refuted in this verse, where such persons are referred to as vimukta manena, signifying that although they think they have attained highest perfection, in fact they have not. So how Prabhupada used to refute all path leads to the same goal? Common way what Prabhupada used to say?
It's about the train ticket.
You can buy any train ticket, you will not reach to the destination. Yes?
Yatomat tatopat.
Yatomat tatopat. That is the actually what it means. Whatever, so many people have their own pathways. You say you have to eat with mouth, you cannot eat with eyes and ear or nose or something else. No. There's only one way to eat. So there's only one way to go to the God, not all the other ways. You will lead to the same destination. In the present day, big politicians all over the world think that by scheming, they are occupying the highest political post and of the president or prime minister. But we actually see that even in this life, such big prime minister, president, and other politicians, because of being non-devotees, fall down, patanti adha. To become president or prime minister is not easy. One must work very hard, to achieve the post. And even though one may reach his goal, at any moment one may be kicked down by material nature. In human society, there have been many incidents in which great exalted politicians have fallen from the government and become lost in the historical oblivion. The cause of this is vishuddha buddhya. Their intelligence is impure. The shastra says, Nate vidhu swartha gatim hi Vishnu. One achieves the perfection of life by becoming a devotee of Vishnu, but people do not know this. Therefore, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 12, Klesho adhiktar tesham avyakta sakta chetsam. Persons who do not ultimately accept the Supreme Person of Godhead and take a devotional service, but who instead are attached to the impersonalism and Vaidism, must undergo great labor to achieve their goal. Shriya Shrutim Bhaktim Udeshya Ye Vibhu Akhila Vibhu Klishanti Ye Keval Bodha Labhai. Other Brahma's prayer. To achieve understanding, such person work very hard and undergo severe austerities. But their hard labor and austerities themselves are their only achievement, for they do not actually achieve the real goal of life. Dhruva Maharaj at first wanted to achieve the greatest material kingdom and greater material position than his father, but when he was actually favored by Lord, who appeared before him to give him the benediction he desired, Dhruva Maharaj refused to accept it and says, Swamim kirtartho asmi varam na yache. Now I am fully satisfied. I do not want any material benediction. Hari Bhakti Shuddhodaya. This is the perfection of life. Yam labdhva cha param labham manyate na adhikam tatta Bhagavad Gita. If one achieves the shelter of the lotus feet of Lord's lotus feet, one is fully satisfied and does not need to ask for any material benediction. At night, no one can see lotus, for lotuses blossom only during the daytime. Therefore, the word Arvindaksh is significant. One who is not captivated by the lotus eyes or transcendent form of the Lord is in darkness, exactly like one who cannot see a lotus. One who has not come to the point of seeing the lotus eyes and transcendental form of Shyama Sundar is a failure. Manava janam paya Radha Krishna na bhajya janiya suniya vishwa khaimo. Premanjan Churita Bhakti Vilochane Santa Sadeva Hriday Shoblokayanti Yamashama Sundaram Machintam Gunaswarup. Those who are attached to the Supreme Person of Godhead in love always see the Lord's lotus eyes and lotus feet. So usually Das Bhakt sees the feet and the Madhurya, Sakha and Vatsalya, they see the eyes. Whereas others cannot see the Lord's beauty and are therefore classified as anadrit yushmit angrihi, are neglected of Lord's personal form. Those who neglect the Lord's form are surely failure on every path in life. But if one develops even a little love for the Supreme Person of Godhead, one is liberated without difficulty. Swalpamasya dharmasya trayate mahato dvayat. Therefore, the Supreme Person of Godhead recommended in Bhagavad Gita, Man mana bhav mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Simply by this process, one is guaranteed to return back home, back to Godhead, thus attain the highest perfection. The Lord further affirms in Bhagavad Gita, Brahma bhuta prasanna atmana sochati kankshati sam sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim nabate param bhaktya mam abhiyanati yamanya chashmi tattvato anantaram gyatva vishate tad anantaram. So these are the two verses with their translation. Chakravarti Pad writes, for Vaishnava, the ocean of material existence is no bigger than water in the calf's hoof print. But for Jnanis, who do not accept the spiritual form of the Lord, the material ocean is very difficult to cross. Following scriptural statements support this conclusion. Sant Kumar said in Srimad Bhagvatam 4:22-40, the ocean of nescience is very difficult to cross because it is infested with many dangerous sharks. Although those who are non-devotees undergo severe austerities and penances to cross the ocean, We recommend that you simply take shelter of the lotus feet of Lord, which are like boat for crossing the ocean. Although the ocean is difficult to cross, by taking shelter of the lotus feet, you will overcome all dangers. In Bhagavad Gita also, Klesho Adhiktar Teshan, so for other paths is very troublesome. To make progress in the discipline, in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied. Okay. Narad says, Naish karamyam api achutta bhava varjitam na shobhate jnanam alam niranjanam. Knowledge of a self-realization, even though free from all material affinity, does not look well if devoid of conception of infallible. Bhagavatam 1.5.12. The demigods here make a similar statement. O lotus-eyed Lord, those who do not accept you have no realization of your sweetness and merciful glance. They think themselves liberated, vimukta manina, though they are completely bound in the material world. This is different from your devotees who, though liberated out of humility, regard themselves as conditioned. Asatya bhavad, speculation without knowing Krishna's lotus feet. This means because of a lack asat, of affection bhava for the Lord, they think him to be illusory, as Gita 9.11, avajananti mam mudha. Therefore, they are avishuddha buddhya, impure intelligence. Because of such foolishness, they are called avishuddha buddhya. The jnanis are not vishuddha, really pure, though they have purified their heart by controlling lust and other material urges, krichena. However, by cultivation of the knowledge generated from such painful practices such as austerity and sense control, krichena, the jnanis can attain liberation, parampadam. It should be understood, however, that even the jnanis must possess some mixed bhakti, for without that they cannot attain even liberation in this life. Lord Brahma prays, Shreya Shritim Bhaktim Udishyaye Vibhu Kleshanti Ye Keval Bodha Labdhya. My dear Lord, devotional service unto you is the best path for self-realization. If someone gives up that path and engages in cultivation of spiritual knowledge, gyaan, he will simply undergo a troublesome process and will not achieve desired goal. Patanti ad, fall down. Without bhakti, the goal of gyaan become like a mirage, and eventually the jnani fall down into material existence again. Another angrihi, neglecting your lotus feet. If a jnani has some type of bhakti, how do they fall down? They fall because they think your lotus feet are material and therefore do not respect them. There are two types of bhakti practiced as a limb of gyaan. The jnani practice bhakti a little bit. That is called gunibhuta bhakti. Because the scriptures say that gyaan cannot be perfected without touch of bhakti. For example, some jnani worship the deity, but they take it in an illusory form and thus worship with disrespect. Others simply worship because for the material attachment without disrespect. The first type adopt extreme austerities, and after a long time, when bhakti bestow knowledge to destroy their ignorance and establish them on the Brahma-bhuta platform, liberated state, they stop their practice of bhakti. These jnanis falsely liberated, vimukta manina, they cannot be called gyaan mukta, jivan mukta, truly liberated souls. According to Sri Krishna's statement in Srimad Bhagvatam 11.14.21, Bhaktya aham ekaya grahaya, only by executing devotional service can one appreciate me. Because of the absence of bhakti, and presence of the offenses, the jnanis do not attain the direct association of Lord. Therefore, the burned up seeds of their karma again begin to sprout, and such jnanis fall into material gain. An example of this is given in Vishnu Bhakti Chandrodaya concerning a Rath Yatra. Even though a person may have burned up all karma with the fire of knowledge, if out of illusion he does not follow the Lord during Rath Yatra, he will become Brahma Rakshas. The Vasanna Bhashya says, even a Jivan Mukt liberated soul, if he offend the Lord, who is full of inconceivable energy, will fall into the bondage of karma again. The bhakti of second type of jnani bring one to the Brahma-bhut platform also, and it extinguish both knowledge and ignorance, but bhakti does not become extinguished. That type of jnani attain status of Jivan Mukt and achieve the direct meeting with Lord. This is in Bhagavad Gita. The jnani who is pradhani bhuta jnana bhakta, pradhani bhuta jnana misrit bhakta. The first was the guni bhuta jnana misrit bhakta. There are two types. Such person is described in the Bhagavad Gita, Brahm bhuta prasanatmanu sochati. And in Bhagavad Gita, Bhaktya mam abhijanati, only person engaged in. So this same verse is quoted. This verse describes other people, okay? And Laghu Vaishnav Toshan said, but one can also cross the ocean of material existence by gyaan without surrendering to my lotus feet. Lord is asking, what about that? This verse answer, O lotus-eyed Lord, this phrase indicates that just by his glance, all suffering is destroyed. Lotus-eyed means just his glance, all suffering is destroyed. The singular is used in the beginning, tvai, and the plural is used at the end, yusmat. The plural indicates that the devotees are included in this statement. Sridhar Swami says that person approaches liberation with difficulties over many births, including birth in good family and study of Vedas. This should also include contemplation and meditation. Or it can mean there is a difficulty because of rejecting Lord, which was mentioned previously in the verse, and then taking shelter of the path of Gyaan. These people think that they are separated from their gross and subtle bodies, vimukta manina. Gita se klesho adhiktar tesham. Attaining the position of the Jivan Mukta Param Padam, they fall down. When? They fall if they do not respect the feet of the Lord. And this devotee is sincere, since they are unaware of the influence of bhakti, which would prevent such disrespect by disrespecting Lord's feet, and again sprout karma, even if they have destroyed all sins. Vasana Bhashya says, this is the verse, if liberated person commit offenses to the Lord endowed with inconceivable power and again end up being bound by karma. Liberated persons develop material desires again. Yogis who surrender to the Lord are never contaminated by karma. In other words of the Purana quoted in Vishnu Bhakti Chandrodaya says, the person who does not respect Supreme Lord become a Brahma Rakshas, even though he has burned up his karma by fire of gyaan. On the path of gyaan leading to bhakti, following may happen. The unfortunate yogi who have developed love for the Lord, full of all sweet qualities, whose heart is somewhat soft because of devotion, whose body here stand on end in the ecstasy, who is constantly overcome with immense tears of joy, gradually withdraw his hook-like mind from Lord's form, and then he falls down. Being established in meditation on Lord's face, one should then withdraw the consciousness and fix it in space, from face to the space. Then giving up the mind and should become established in the me as a Brahm and not think of anything. In these verses, the person give up meditation on the Lord and attain perfection and concentration elsewhere. In these cases, there is no previous disrespect to the Lord, but rather a loss of attraction caused by impression of desire for merging in Brahm. This can be seen when person absorbed in material pleasure sees object caused by sanskar, which occurred during a dream. This description is caused by Lord. This deception is caused by Lord. The person then become absorbed in Brahm. Those engaged in getting the Lord's favor attain liberation from the Lord very easily, but he does not very easily give opportunity to render direct service to the Lord. Muktim dadati karachit samna bhakti yogam. My dear Lord, I do not see form superior to your present form of eternal bliss and knowledge. In your impersonal Brahm effulgence in the spiritual sky, there is no occasional change and no deterioration of internal potency. I surrender unto you because whereas I am proud of my material body and senses, your Lordship is the cause of the cosmic manifestation, and yet you are untouched by matter. O Lord of the auspiciousness for the whole world, this personal form is for the benefit of the world, and it was shown to me, your worshipper, by meditation. Therefore, I offer respect to that personal form. Let me only serve you, who are not respected by those who will go to hell, proclaiming that your personal form is false. 394. O lotus-eyed Lord, this phrase indicates that just by his glance, Sanatana Goswami says, all suffering is destroyed. These same quotations are Chaitanya Chaitamrita Madhya 20, 30, 20, 22 chapter 30 verse, 24 chapter 31 verse, 24 chapter 41 verse, and 25 chapter 32 verse. If you want to refer, find out something there. Verse number 33. Tatha nate madhava tavaka kvache Bharashyanti maragad tvai baddha swirda Tvaya abhigoptya vicharanti nirbhaya Vinayaka anikapamurdhaso prabho. Devotees, even they fall, they are not criticized. They continue their path by putting a foot on their opponent's head. O Madhav, the Supreme Person of God, a Lord of the Goddess of Fortune, Madhav Prabhu, if devotees tavaka, completely in love with you, tvai badho soirda, sometimes fall from the path of devotion, kvachida brashyanti margat, they do not fall like non-devotees, nab tata. For you still protect them, tvaya abhiguptaya. Thus they fearlessly traverse vicharanti nirbhaya, the head of their opponents, and continue to progress in devotional service. Vinayaka anikapa murdhanasu. Devotees generally do not fall down, but if circumstantially they do, the Lord, because of their strong attachment to Him, gives them protection in all circumstances. Thus, even the devotee fall down, they are still strong enough to traverse the head of their enemies. We have actually seen that our Krishna conscious movement has many opponents, such as the deprogrammers, who instituted a strong legal case against the devotees. We thought that this case would take long time to settle, but because the devotees were protected by Supreme Personality Godhead, they unexpectedly won the case in one day. Thus, A case that was expected to continue for years was settled in a day because of the protection of Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has promised in Bhagavad Gita, Konte Pratijani Name Bhakta Pranashyati. In the history, there are many instances of devotees like Chitraketu, Indradyumna, Maharaj Bharta, who circumstantially fell down but were still protected. Maharaj Bharta, for example, deer and these are all the examples. Brahminical family, Suchinam Shrimatam Gehe Yoga Brashtoy. Similarly, Chitraketu become this Virtasur. The word Madhava is significant. Ma means Lakshmi, and mother of all opulence is always with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And if a devotee is in touch with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all the opulence of the Lord are ready to help him. Yatra Yogeshwar Krishna Yatra Tatra Bharata, the last verse of Bhagavad Gita. The opulence of the devotees are not result of karma kant, vichar. The devotee is always protected by all of Supreme Lord's opulences, of which no one can deprive him. Tesham nitya viyuktanam yoga kshemam vahami. Thus a devotee cannot be defeated by any opponent. A devotee therefore should not deviate knowingly from the path of devotion. The adhyan devotee is assured all protection from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Chakravarti path slight Bharta, this means Ramaraj Bharta. Indradyumna, Raja Indradyumna, he become elephant. Gadaha Gajendra, and Chitraketu become Virtasur. Who were great devotees are not criticized even though they fail. Then why do the Gyanis get criticized so heavily? This verse answers the question. The devotees on the path of bhakti do not fall like the pretenders of the liberation. But to speak of giving up Lord's lotus feet, even if bhakta fall in that state, they remain firmly attached to lotus feet, to your lotus feet. Though Chitraketu, Bharata and Indradyum fell, they took the bodies of demons like Virta and others, and their prem increased 100-fold. One should see their fall as a cause for increasing prem. Their fall is not like the fall of the aspirant for liberation. For even in the fallen state, they remain firmly attached to your lotus feet. They remain faithful to Lord, thinking that their fall has been arranged by the Lord for their own benefit. For the Lord promised that his devotees will never perish. Being thus convinced of Krishna's protection, they tread over the head of demigod, causing obstacle. In other words, they conquer over all the obstacles. Another meaning can be that the devotees hold on their own heads the feet of the Lord, which destroy all obstacles. Again, the devotees are described. Those who worship you without knowledge of Atma Tattva, giving up Swadharma, and even committing sin, do not fall. This verse is contrast to the previous verse, Tatha na, not like that. Is similar to saying, you are a fool, but I am not like that. Or Tatha can means, on the other hand, persons who have at some time taken shelter of you, Tavaka, never fall from the path. Or if they do not fall again. On the contrary, they have achieved firm prem, Baddha Sohirda, and therefore are completely protected by you. O descendant, O dearest of the Lakshmi, Madhava, these devotees automatically possess all wealth. O Madhav, or Madhav can mean Lord who appeared in Madhu dynasty. You are the most merciful, O Master. You are endowed with all Shaktis by the Lord's power, and devotees also possess such power. Or because having your power from a beginning, even if they disrespect your lotus feet, they do not fall like Gyanis. mentioned in the previous verse. They are blame for you. The devotees move without fear. They ascend to Vaikuntha, making a ladder of the various paths which act as obstacles. The devotees regret the obstacle occurring within the bhakti itself, caused by themselves, and by this they gain the great mercy of the Lord. Verse number 34. Sattvam vishuddham shriyate bhavan stito sharirinam shriya upayanam vapuho veda kriya yoga tapas samadhi bhi tvaharanam yena jana samhite. O Lord, during the time of maintenance, stito, you manifest several incarnations, bhavan shriyate, all with transcendental bodies beyond the material modes of nature, sattvam vishuddham vapuhu. When you appear in this way, you bestow all good fortune upon the living entities, sharirinam shriya upayanam, by teaching them to perform Vedic activities such as ritualistic ceremonies, mystic yoga, austerities, penance, and ultimately samadhi, ecstatic absorption and thought of you, Veda, Kriya, Yoga, Tapah, Samadhi. So Veda is for Brahmachari, Kriya is for Grasta, Yoga is for Tapa is for Vanprastha, and Samadhi is for Sannyasis. This will come like that. Thus you are worshipped by the Vedic principle, Yena Jana Tva Aharanam Samhite. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Yagna Dana Tapa Karamana Tyajyam. The Vedic ritualistic ceremonies, charity, austerity, and all such prescribed duties are never to be given up. Yagna Dana Tapa Chaiva Pavanani Manishrinam. Even one who is very much advanced in spiritual relation must still execute Vedic principle. Even in lowest stage, the karmis are advised to work for the sake of Lord. Yagya artha karmano anyatha karma bandhana. So, the word yagya artha karma indicate that while performing all kinds of duties, one should remember that these duties should be performed to satisfy the Supreme Lord. Swakalama tam abhrichya. According to Vedic principle, there must be a division of the human society, Chaturvarnyam Maya system. So there should be a Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra, and everyone should worship Supreme Lord, Tam Abhirichya. This is a real human society. Without this system, we are left with the animal society. Modern activities of human society are described in Srimad Bhagvatam as the activities of the Gokhar Samanaha, like a cow and a ass. They are in bodily concept only. There is the extension of that, the society, friendship, and love to improvement the economical and political condition. Thus all activities are enacted in ignorance. The Supreme Personality of Godhead comes to teach us how to act according to the Vedic principle. In the age of Kali, the Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and preached that in this age the Vedic activities cannot be systematically performed because people are so fallen. He gave this recommendation from the shastra, Hare Nam Eva Kevalam Kalau Nasteva Nat Nasteva Gatir Anata. So the Krishna conscious movement is therefore reaching people all over the world how to teaching the people all over the world how to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and this has proved very much effective in all places, all times. This is a Krishna conscious movement. The Supreme Personality of Godhead appears in order to teach us Vedic principles intended for understanding Him, Vedesya Sarver. We should always know that when Krishna and Lord Chaitanya appeared, they appeared Shuddha Sattva bodies. And they appear for the benefit of entire human society. Out of causeless mercy of Lord appears in different ages in His original Shuddha Sattva, transcendental body to elevate human society to the spiritual platform upon which they truly benefit. Unfortunately, modern politicians and other leaders stray the bodily comfort of life, yasya atma buddhi kunapetri dhatuke, and concentrate on the activities of the ism and this ism, that ism, which they describe in different kind of flowery language. Essentially, such activities are the activities of animal. Gokhar samana, sa eva gokharha. We should learn how to act from Bhagavad Gita, which explains everything for human understanding. Thus, we can become happy even in this age of Kali. Vishuddha, transcendental, indicates sattva is beyond material contamination. You accept purely spiritual body. And what type of form is it? Sthito, maintenance, in maintaining the world. You accept body which brings about benefit, upayan, and supreme auspiciousness, shriya, for the living entities. What is that benefit? Veda, kriya, yoga, tapa, samadhi. Brahmachari study Vedas. Grasta perform kriya yoga. Vanpars perform austerity. And sannyasi sit in samadhi. Aharanam samihite. Men worship you through their activities in these 4 ashram. Your appearance creates this benefit. If you does not accept such a spiritual form, he cannot attain perfection. Though you have a body which is supreme cause, as mentioned in Bhagvatam 3.9.3, you manifest a body of Shuddha Sattva in this world. Vishuddha Sattva body is beyond Maya, arising from Chitta Shakti, and is not different from you. Through your Prakash Shakti, you appear to protect world, Sthito. Though you have a variety of eternal bodies, you take shelter of particular body for protecting the world at a particular time. For instance, though a person has various senses, he takes shelter of eye to see and ear to hear. After appearing and giving protection, these forms produce happiness for the living beings. Even through meditation, your body is like a gift given in compassion for the unlimited beings, which yield result of pious act and other goals up to prem, or your body is the best gift and the highest bliss. O Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, by the Lord full of bliss, all beings live. He gives result to the respective worshipper. People worship him through the Dharma of the 4 ashrama, by offering Vedas, etc. By mentioning these types of worship, it is implied that the worship can take place even without presence of Lord. Just as aiming to him, by that body, all the people in 4 ashram, Brahmachari, Veda, Grasta, Kriya, Yoga, Vanaprastha, Tapa, and Sannyas, Samadhi, directly undertake worship. However, if one worship through the Vedas or other methods without aiming at the body of the Lord, it is not direct worship. That is suggested. By this execution of worship by the 4 ashram, other also gain perfection. For this reason, it is said that this is the best method for all beings. Saririnam Sridhar Swami says that without aiming at the body of the Lord, one cannot even attain the result of karma yoga, action. It is said, devotional service to his lotus feet is the root cause of all perfection a person can find in heaven, in liberation, or in subterranean regions on the earth. And Sanatana Goswami writes, during the time of maintenance, you manifest several incarnations, all with spiritual bodies, beyond the for all the beings, for attaining the highest bliss. By these forms, people in 4 ashram engage in your worship through study of Veda, performing deity worship. Kriya Yoga is deity worship. Engaging in austerities, Vanaprastha, and attaining Samadhi. So you take shelter of the pure form for protecting. The method is explained. It is the best gift for the unlimited jivas. With moving and non-moving bodies, giving them dharma through the Vedas. By this body, the people of the 4 ashram engage in your worship. By engaging in their dharma, they become purified in mind. This is the method of worship. By this worship, by the 4 ashram, all others who are related to them, moving and non-moving, also become perfect. Or Shriya Upayanam can mean that by which one attain Ayanam, the best goal. The Vedas, etc. teach bhakti to you. Otherwise, 4 ashram would never attain bhakti. Or Shriya Upayan means he to whom the best offering is made, becoming your devotees by your farm, using Vedas, which are your farm, Vapu, etc., as offering the people of the four ashram perform your worship. Or you take shelter of the farm, which shows one to quickly attain upayanam prem or vaikunta. How? Through offering one's dharma, one attain worship of the farm, which allows attainment of the higher goal. Or by manifesting sattva guna, everything is attained, including service to you. You manifest shriyate, sattva guna. By that sattva, the body of all jivas, vapu, become best means of attaining everything, shriya upayanam by Veda, etc. Or by the Veda, people perform their dharma. All of members of the ashram become your devotees. Yena, Kena refer to both farm and the Vedas. So, I think our time is over. So, tomorrow we'll start from verse number 35. Sattvam na chedhatu idam nijam bhaveta vigyanam. So, we are leaving it here. Okay.
Recording stopped.
Any question or comment? Because I have no class today, so I am little relaxed. I had a class in afternoon. So I think we have done more than our quota verses today, because I am traveling. I'm in Puri on Monday, and I have a class from 4 to 5. So 5:30 again we can do something from Jagannath Puri, and then I'm going to Bangalore, where I am landing at 4:45. So again 5:30 most probably we can start our class on 8th. But 9th, okay, I will be there too. But 10th, then I am traveling. I think Krishna desire how the things can continue. So maybe we can have some verses earlier. So if we miss something, we should not be lagging behind. Any question or comment?
Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, everybody. Haribol. Shakti, you send the question back, then we can see. The altitude is a person who unselfishly helps the good soil, the Gaur. Param Karuna, whereas philanthropist uses other resources or system to help the needy. Okay, that's good to know these. Thank you. Thank you for enriching my knowledge. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.